All right, so you have low testosterone, and you're not alone. You don't feel like a man. You know you're a man, obviously, but you don't really feel like it. You don't feel like you have that core level of masculinity. Maybe it's because you've lost your sex drive. Maybe it's because you have a difficult time putting on any sort of muscle mass. Maybe you feel depressed. You feel that looming anxiety all the time, or you can't sleep well, or all of the above. Now this is an extremely common thing these days. Low testosterone has basically become an epidemic, and I'm going to tell you a bit about my story and my journey through, going from low testosterone to high testosterone naturally without having to use any sort of drugs. One of the big things right now is that an estimated 35% of Western men have low testosterone, which is a staggering amount when you consider the numbers. And that's just reported low testosterone. There are 38%, just so you can see the trend, there are 38% more men with low testosterone this year than there were in the year 2000. A 38% increase in low testosterone. That tells you something. There's something wrong. There are a lot of things causing this that are. It's not a drug deficiency. It's not a pharmaceutical deficiency. These are literally real problems, real health problems that guys are experiencing, and at an accelerated rate. The issue is that less than 10% estimated people, in polling, actually know that there is a natural solution to low testosterone. Now, a lot of people think, they go to their doctor for low testosterone, they think that the only way to cure low testosterone is through pharmaceuticals. I'm here to tell you today that is not the case. Now, one of the biggest ways to illustrate that is just to tell you my own story. I have become, somewhat of an expert on natural testosterone optimization out of necessity, out of my own. If you would ask me years ago if I would be teaching this stuff, I would have never guessed that I'd be teaching this stuff. Here's what happened. When I was a teenager, I was diagnosed with a pituitary tumor, and the pituitary gland, for those of you who know, has signals to your testes to produce testosterone. And so the tumor was actually blocking that signaling. So I experienced all sorts of issues, the biggest of which was low testosterone. And I'm not kidding when I say low. My testosterone clocked in at 11 nanograms per deciliter, which is extremely low. That's almost zero. Now, a lot of people weigh in, they have low testosterone when they go to the doctor, maybe around 250 to 400 nanograms per deciliter, but I was at 11. And so what happened was, my doctor, to him, the only option was that I take the androgel, that I take a pharmaceutical Band-Aid, basically. But I knew that if I were to do that my body would shut down the natural production of testosterone, because that's what happens with the feedback loop. You introduce the false feedback into your endocrine system, and it will stop production of your own testosterone. So I knew I didn't want to do that, so I figured there had to be a way to do this naturally. So what did I do? I dug into the research, and it took a while. It took a lot of studying. I was at Duke for a neuroscience degree at the time, so I had access to all sorts of research databases, and just took it upon myself to study it, because nobody cares about your health problems as much as you do. So you should take your own personal responsibility for your health and solve your own problems, because the brutal reality of it is that your doctor cannot care as much as you do, because he has, it's not him, and then he sees a ton of patients with all sorts of different problems. So it's just not possible for him to care as much as you do. So you can't necessarily put all of your trust into someone else's hands on your health. Take responsibility for your own health. Now, what happened from there? We actually ended up it's been years and years and years. I naturally increased my testosterone to 1,200 nanograms per deciliter. And now my partner Ali and Ali is just an amazing researcher on this subject as well. We now have this big site that it's called anabolicmen.com, that hundreds of thousands of men come to every single month to get advice. And so we have a great community there now. And now we've assembled also a team of independent researchers that will continue to do this homework for you and do this research for you and present unbiased research. So that's anabolicmen.com. All right, so now when it comes to naturally increasing your testosterone, one of the biggest things that I learned were that there were a bunch of levels to it. This isn't just a simple, straightforward thing. It can be very complicated. But what we did with Anabolic Men, we broke it down and made it extremely simple in terms of the way to think about it. Now, in terms of the levels, the most important level that I figured out, to address was having a micronutrient balance and really addressing. There are a lot of things a lot of supplements out there that don't do anything, but there are also a handful of minerals and herbs that are really, really good for your body. And there are human studies backing all of the claims up based on just independent research where guys, unbiased researchers, through universities, through the NIH, end up doing this research on these certain compounds. So what we did, what Ali and I did, is we went and compiled all these studies together and started to see trends. And this took us years of work. I mean, we basically obsessively read through all of these studies for years and years. And one thing that we noticed was that there were a couple compounds, a couple minerals, vitamins, and herbs that kept popping up over and over in studies where new studies would come out and they would show awesome results for increasing testosterone in human males naturally and influencing your body's natural production of testosterone. So we were seeing studies all over for things like obviously magnesium and zinc and vitamin D. Those are the big staples, but also lesser known ones like boron, ashwagandha, and forskolin. So these compounds just kept popping up, and they were just proven over and over and over in human studies, not animal studies, in human studies, to be effective at increasing and influencing your body's own natural production of testosterone. So after seeing all these studies and then seeing the state of what's going on in the supplement industry, where all of these just scammy marketers are just going in and they're copying each other's ingredients, and then they use shoddy research or one random rat study to back up their claims, when we've done videos on the YouTube channel, on the Anabolic Men YouTube channel, showing a lot of these really common ingredients really do nothing in human men to increase testosterone. In these test booster supplements that you'll go see, if you go search on Amazon, you go search on bodybuilding.com, you see these test boosters everywhere. The ingredients they contain do not increase testosterone. So and because of that, Ali and I were just very against these test boosters in general. And when people would ask us for recommendations for how to get their testosterone very high using certain minerals and herbs, we would always recommend against those test boosters because we'd say there's no research to back up anything. And so we would recommend specifically certain things like boron, like correcting any micronutrient deficiencies you have, and especially with magnesium, zinc, and vitamin D. But also herbs like ashwagandha and forskolin have good research behind them. So here's what happened. Basically, out of necessity from all this, and the fact that we got so many questions over and over and over, and the fact that when you're to buy all of these things in bulk, together, you're buying 8 or 9 different things at once. And so, I was personally taking these things, and Ali was also taking these things on a daily basis. And at a certain point, you come to the realization that, taking a giant stack of supplements every day, day in, day out, can be kind of tiresome, and it can be expensive. So, we set to work about a year ago putting together a formula for a testosterone boosting supplement that actually works. The true testosterone booster. Instead of these crappy, alternatives that are everywhere now, we put together one that has all the ingredients that we've been recommending for years, but it actually works, and it is backed by human research studies in the right dosages. And these clinical dosages are very, very important. And that's another part of the issue with a lot of other supplements, is that people don't actually put the right dose in the supplement or in the serving size. So someone might take just drastically underdose, and they won't see any good benefits from that compound. So what we did is we put together in our minds, the perfect formula based on all the research we've seen, and that is testro-x. That's what it turned into, testro-x. So this is now one of my favorite supplements. I take this every single day. It's really simple. It basically, there are 9 ingredients in it, and one of which enhances the absorption of all the other ingredients, which is also very important. But it's nice because now, instead of having to take a giant stack of 9 different things, all I do is just take 3 capsules of testro-x, and it gets everything I need. So what's in testro-x, you're probably wondering. what are all these things? I've mentioned most of them actually. So there's the most bioavailable form of zinc, so it's readily absorbed. Same with magnesium, the most bioavailable form. We have KSM-66 ashwagandha, which has double the withanolide content, which is the active ingredient in ashwagandha. And ashwagandha is one of the most impressive adaptogenic herbs out there. It's amazing, and there is a lot of human male research showing an increase in testosterone production in men. And the KSM-66, organic ashwagandha is the best. So we put KSM-66 in here. We have forskolin root extract, and forskolin is also a great herb to use. We have a little blend. It's not really a blend, but we chunk it together because, like I mentioned earlier, the pituitary gland is crucial in this whole thing. The pituitary gland is what signals to produce testosterone. So you want to have a healthy hypothalamic pituitary adrenal and testicular axis. So the signaling from the hypothalamus to the pituitary gland is regulated by a hormone called GnRH, and this stands for gonadotropin releasing hormone. So we included 3 ingredients that influence and increase GnRH signaling, so this helps to actually kickstart the natural production of your testosterone in your body, which is awesome. And those ingredients are inositol, glycine, and L-theanine. And these are just really solid ingredients. We have very high quality versions of them in testro-x. And now last but not least, we included 10 milligrams of boron. And 10 milligrams of boron is the perfect dose, where it was seen in studies to more than double testosterone in human men in as little as 7 to 14 days of regular consumption. So, and boron in that dose is it's a great stimulator for natural testosterone production. And boron is one of it's this mineral that nobody really knows about, that we talk about a lot now on anabolicmen.com, but it's been flying under the radar, and it's incredible. There's some really good research on it. So that is testro-x. It's become very popular now on Anabolic Men for good reason. I mean, it's extremely convenient compared to buying all 9 of those ingredients elsewhere. It's extremely affordable. This is actually a full month's supply. 1 bottle is a month's supply, so it's easy to keep in stock. And we're really excited for you to try it. Now, you can go on over to anabolicmen.com and get a bottle of it and let us know what you think about it, because we've gotten a lot of testimonials so far of people within the first few weeks just feeling awesome. They report increased energy levels, better sleep, better workouts in the gym, and workouts outside. There's a lot of guys who do outdoor workouts. So I'm excited to hear what you think about testro-x, and I'm excited to just get it out there, because finally there is a test booster that actually works. So thanks for watching this video.